Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Please forgive me. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram 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 Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram 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 Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram 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 Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram 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 Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram 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 Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram 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 Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram 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 Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram 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 Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram 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 Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram 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 Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram 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 Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram 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 Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram 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 Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram 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 Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram 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 Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram 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 Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram 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 Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram 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 Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram 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 Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram 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 Hare. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaura Namacharya Haridas Thakur ki Jai Bhakti Dev Dasi Maharani ki Jai Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada Srila Gurudev ki Jai Shri Hare Maharani. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram 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 Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram 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 Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram 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 Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram 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 Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram 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 Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram 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 Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram 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 Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram 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 Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram 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 Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram 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 Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram 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 Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram 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 Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram 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 Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram 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 Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram 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 Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram 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 Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram 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 Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram 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 Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram 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 Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram 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 Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram 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 Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram 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 Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram 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 Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram 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 Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram 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 Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram 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 Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare 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 Ram Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Krishna Hare Hare, Ram 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 Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Ram 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 Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Ram 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 Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Ram 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 Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Ram 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 Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Ram 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 Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Ram 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 Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Ram 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 Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Ram 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 Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Ram 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 Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Ram 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 Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Ram 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 Hare.
Namo Namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnavrinda ki jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai. प्रेम से कहो जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधारा श्री वासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय श्रीला गुरुदेव की जय. All glories to all the assembled devotees. Please accept my humble obeisances. This is Chinmayi Vrajapriya Devi Dasi, welcoming all of you to this mid-morning japa session. I thank each one of you for attending this session, and please forgive me for interrupting your ecstatic chanting. It is time for us to move on to our next part of the session, which is class on Caitanya Bhagavat. Before we start the class, may I know who all have joined today's call so that we can greet you?
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandvat Pranam, all glory to Srila Prabhupada. This is Neetu from Baltimore.
Hare Krishna, Neetu Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to Srila Gurudev. Welcome to the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Dandvat Pranams. This is Sukhsagari. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to Srila Gurudev. Welcome to the call, Mataji, and thank you for joining. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Chinmayi Vrajapriya Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and all the assembled devotees. This is Indulekha Karna Devi Dasi from Lincoln, wishing everyone a very happy Ekadashi. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Indulekha Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to Srila Gurudev. Welcome to the call and happy Ekadashi to you, Mataji. And happy Ekadashi to all the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Chinmayi Vrajapriya Mataji, Dandvat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Vinita Gandharvika Devi Dasi from Texas College Station. Happy Ekadasi to everyone. Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna, Vinita Gandharvika Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to Srila Gurudev. Welcome to the call, Mataji. Thank you. And happy Ekadashi to you too.
Hare Krishna, Chinmayi Vrajapriya Mataji. This is Kaumudiki Dasi from Baltimore. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to Guru Maharaj and all the devotees. Hare Krishna. And happy Ekadashi to all devotees. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Kaumudiki Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to Srila Guru Maharaj. Thank you, Mataji, for joining and giving your valuable association. And welcome to the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna and happy Ekadashi to you too.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Shri Guru and Gauranga and all the assembled devotees. Yashamati from Chicago, and a happy Ekadashi to all the devotees.
Hare Krishna, Yashamati Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to Srila Guru Maharaj. Thank you, Mataji, for joining. Welcome to the call and happy Ekadashi to you too, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Chinmayi Mataji. Dandvat Pranam to you and all Vaishnava. Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev ki jai. Vrinda.
Hare Krishna, Vrinda Gopika Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to Srila Guru Maharaj. Thank you, Mataji, for joining and welcome to the call. Happy Ekadashi to you, Mataji. Okay, so there is nobody else who would like to introduce. We would like to move on to the next part of our session, which is class on Caitanya Bhagavat. Before I hand over the call, let me read today's quote by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. The quote for today is, "Ointment is applied to the eyes for clear vision. When the ointment of love of Godhead will be applied in our eyes, then with these eyes we shall be able to see God. God is not invisible. Simply like a man with cataract or any other eye disease, he cannot see. That does not mean the things are not existing. He cannot see. God is there, but because my eyes are not competent to see God, therefore I deny God. God is there everywhere." This was quoted by His Divine Grace at Boston on May 1st, 1969. So let's move on to the next part of our session, which is class on Caitanya Bhagavat. And today we have our dear Her Grace Kirtida Sundari Mataji, who is going to enlighten us on Caitanya Bhagavat, Madhya khanda, first chapter, texts 108 to 137. Hare Krishna Kirtida Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Srila Gurudev. Thank you, Mataji, for giving your valuable time and association. Hand over the call to you, Mataji. Eager to hear from you as usual. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Chinmay Radhika Mataji, Chinmay Vrajapriya Mataji. Thank you so much for your very, very kind and warm welcome. Dandavat pranams, glories to Prabhupada. Dandavat pranams to all the assembled Vaishnavas. Really, really grateful for all of your wonderful association. Thank you so much for sharing your valuable time with us. So let's get started. We'll offer our invocation prayers to seek auspiciousness, and then we'll move on to our Caitanya Bhagavata. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Caitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhavutamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Shri Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Panchatatvadakam Krishnam Bhaktarupa Sarupakam Bhaktavtaram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam. Namah Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namini. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschata Deshatarini. Vancha kalpa tarubhascha kripa sindhu vaevacha patitanam bhavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gauri Bhakta-vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Guruve Gaura Chandraya Radhikaya Tadale Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namo. Anandi Leela Maya Vigrahaya Hema Bhadevya Chavi Sundaraya Tasmai Mahaprema Rasa Pradaya Chaitanya Chandraya Namo Namaste Chaitanya Chandraya Namo Namaste. Chaitanya Chandraya Namo Namaste. Ajanulambita bhujau karnakavadhatau sankirtane kapitarau kamalayatakshav Vishwambarau Vijavarau Yugadharmapalau Vande Jagat Priyakarau Karunavatarau Jayati Jayati Deva Krishna Chaitanya Chandra Jayati Jayati Kirti Stasya Nitya Pavitra Jayati Jayati Bhritya Stasya Vishveshwamurte Jayati Jayati Nrityam Tasya Sarva Priyanam Nagam Karoti Vachalum Pangam Langayate Girim Yat Kripahatam Ham Vande Shri Guru Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Ishwaram. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you once again for your wonderful association. And I really seek all of your best wishes, your prayers, your blessings, so that I can speak something relevant to the subject matter. Though it's just a storyline and we'll be covering a lot of verses, but still I need all of your blessings. Vancha kalpatarubhascha kripa sindhu bhaivacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Anant Koti Vaishnav Vrindi ki jai. Namacharya Shila Haridas Thakur ki jai. Shri Chaitanya Bhagavat ki jai. Vrindavan Das Thakur ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gaura Bhakta Vrindi ki jai. All the assembled Vaishnavas ki jai. So we are in the section of Chaitanya Bhagavat where our Nimai Pandit has come in association of Srila Ishvara Puripan. He got initiation and now he has become Bhavuk Nimai. The emotions of Nimai have been awakened, and he, as soon as he hears the word Krishna, all the emotions, they come up. And not only here, sometimes he himself cries for Krishna. Where is Krishna? Where is Krishna? I want to see Krishna. So that is the situation. All the associates of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they try to console him. But sometimes Mahaprabhu goes into that internal consciousness because he has taken the mood of Srimati Radharani. Just like Srimati Radharani was crying day in and out in Vrindavan, when Krishna left Vrindavan, she was practically not seeing anything, but she was seeing Krishna. She was seeing trees, she was seeing Krishna. She was seeing lake, she was seeing Krishna. So whatever Radharani, Srimati Radharani was seeing, she was seeing Krishna. And all the day she was crying, she will cry, where is my Krishna? Where is my Prana? Where is Murli Vadan? And same is the situation of our Mahaprabhu, who is day and night now crying for Krishna because he wants to see Krishna. So the emotions of Radha Bhav, have now been erupted in Mahaprabhu after meeting Srila Ishvara Puripada. So this was the context that we read. And one day at the house of where he met Gadadhar Pandit, to whom he went to the house of Shukalambara Brahmachari. And that time also he was simply crying for Krishna. But that time Gadadhar Prabhu came and he said, why are you crying for Krishna? And Mahaprabhu said, oh Gadadhar, you are very, very fortunate because from childhood only you have a strong inclination for Krishna. But I am the most unfortunate. Why? Because I wasted those golden years of not remembering Krishna, but rather in my Panditya. I was simply busy in all those Shastras, Sanskrit grammar, teaching everybody, teasing everybody, and embarrassing everybody on my Panditya. I have wasted this human form of life for all these years. So this is Mahaprabhu saying in Bhakta Bhav. And he said, "Oh Gadadhar, you are very fortunate." And this way, our Vishambhar, he fell down crying, and his entire body was covered with dust. At that time, the Lord regained his consciousness, and again he repeatedly fell unconscious. And although he hit the ground with his nose and face, but he was protected by providence. And that's what the internal reason that Srimati Radharani said, that when Krishna wants to leave from Golok Vrindavan and come as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Srimati Radharani warned him that you are going, but your body is not suitable for all those pains and sufferings you will be having when you will be crying out for Krishna. So take my duty. Let me cover your body with my own body, because I am experienced. So Mahaprabhu's body was covered by Srimati Radharani. So though he was hitting his nose, his face onto the ground, but he was always protected, because he was always covered by Srimati Radharani's duty, and internally with Radharani's bhav. So he could not open his eyes, and the only name that came out from his mouth was Krishna. Krishna, Krishna Kotha, where are you, Krishna? Just like our Das Goswami, our Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj, who wrote only one bhajan, and in that he wrote, Kothai go prema mai radhe radhe. That Das Goswami, every time he was in Vrindavan, in separation from all his associates, all his those who are in the company of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he lost everybody, and he was in the banks of Randakund, staying there, and he was every day crying out, Kothai go prema mai radhe radhe. That he simply cry out for Radhe Radhe, where are you, where are you, where are you? Similarly, our Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is simply crying for Krishna, weeping for Krishna. Where is Krishna? Where is Krishna? And seeing this, all the devotees also started crying. And just like Gaur Kishore Das, just like Gaur Govind Maharaj used to say, that Mahaprabhu opened this crying school for everybody. Yes. He instructed us also that we should also cry for Krishna. Unless and until we'll cry for Krishna, Krishna won't come. Maya Devi is very strong. Maya Devi will allure us with all those things. Just like when the child cries, what happened? The parents give so many toys to the children that, okay, you be pacified with these toys. But the child still cries. And the parents will give some more toys. But the child doesn't want the toys. And if the child is adamant that, no, I want only my parents, then the child is not allured by those toys. The child still throw away the toys and will go, will crawl, or will walk, or will run to seek the association of his or her parents. So that's the nature of a child. Similarly, Gaur Govind Maharaj used to say that Maya Devi is very strong. Maya Devi will allure us with so many allurements. And if we are happy with those allurements, then Krishna says, okay, you don't want me. You are happy with the things you have. So, okay, be pacified. Because if the mother gives the child a toy, and the toy is happy, then mother says, okay, so that means he doesn't need me. He's happy with the toy. Okay, let it be satisfied. Let me complete my work in the meantime. But if the child is adamant, no, I want my mother. Similarly, the devotee should be very adamant. I want Krishna, only Krishna. I'll not be allured with all the things that Maya Devi throws on me. But I'll simply cry for Krishna. Then only there is some hope that we'll get Krishna. Guru Krishna Prasade Pai, Bhakti Lata Beach, that also with the mercy of Shri Guru and Shri Krishna. So the Lord also, he was simply crying. But after saying this, after saying that, please, where is Krishna? Bring the son of Nanda Maharaj. My heart is distressed. Please relieve me of my distress. But after saying this, the Lord sighed deeply and wept repeatedly. And the whole day passed like a moment in this blissful state. though it was a state of crying, it was the state of separation, but still it was blissful. Why it was blissful? Because everybody was absorbed in thoughts of Krishna. Everybody was in Krishna consciousness. So when we are absorbed in Krishna consciousness, even though we are weeping, but that weeping is also very blissful. And then the Lord took leave of the devotees for a short time. So the Lord said, okay, now I have to go. And Lord took leave from all the devotees. So that was the context. I'll share the screen and we'll continue with text 108. Hope you all can see. No, this is not the thing. I don't know. Are you all able to see? No.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, this is the yes, 108 onwards. Gadadhar Sadashiv Shrimana Pandita Shukalambaradi Sabe Haila Vismita. So when the Lord took leave from the devotees, at that time the devotees headed by Gadadhar Pandit, by Sadashiv, by Shriman Pandit and Shukalambara Brahmachari, they all became struck with wonder on seeing the transformations of ecstasy displayed by the Lord. Why they were struck with wonder? Because they have never seen Mahaprabhu like this. Mahaprabhu has always depicted himself as the Pandit, as his Panditya pastimes were known to everybody. But now, after coming back from Gaya, Mahaprabhu has become Bhavuknimai. And so they all were struck with wonder because this was the major transformation that they could see in the Lord. Previously, Lord was not like this, but now he is displaying always all the ecstatic symptoms of the Lord because now he has become Bhavuknimai. Ye dekhi lena prema sabai avakya apurva dekhiya karo deha nahi bhaya. And due to love, ye dekhi lena prema, due to love, sabai avakya, they all became speechless. They have nothing to say. Vakya means to say something, but avakya means they were speechless. They couldn't say anything. Apurva dekhiya karo nahi, karo deha nahi bhaya. They have some of them have even lost external consciousness by that seeing that wonderful sight of Mahaprabhu going into ecstasy. So on seeing the Lord's most wonderful, ecstatic, never ever before display of transformations of ecstatic love belonging to the category of Mahabhav, all the devotees became speechless. This is the purport by His Divine Grace, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Swami Srila Prabhupada. So he said that Mahaprabhu is now on the category of Mahabhav because he is displaying the ecstatic symptoms. And none of them have ever seen before such ecstatic symptoms of Mahaprabhu. So now Mahaprabhu, seeing him in this Mahabhav condition, everybody became speechless and everybody was awestruck with wonder. Vaishnava Samaje Sabe Aila Harishe Anupurvi Kahi Lena Ashesha Visheshe. They all joyfully went to the community of Vaishnavas. So they all went because they took leave from Mahaprabhu. So Mahaprabhu is not accompanying them. And they all joyfully went to the community of Vaishnavas and narrated in detail the entire incident. And this is what is known as Krishna Katha. And they are glorifying Mahaprabhu and they are discussing among the Vaishnavas about what all happened at the house of Shuklambra Brahmachari. And Suniya Sakala Maha Bhagavata Gana Hari Hari Bale Sabe Karena Krandana. And they also started crying because when they heard the emotions of Mahaprabhu, that how Mahaprabhu is simply crying for Krishna, they can't control themselves also. They also started crying. And they all started saying, Hari, Hari means they were very happy. They were very happy that their dear Nimai is developing the symptoms of ecstasy, is becoming a devotee. So that's what they said. Remember when we were doing this Chaitanya Bhagavat Adi Khanda, at that time, Mahaprabhu was teasing all this Mukunda and all his other friends. And everybody will say, "Oh Nimai, why are you wasting your time into all this Sanskrit grammar, picking everybody, arguing with them? Why are you doing so? Why are you wasting your life? Why don't you become a devotee of Krishna?" They'll always say like this. But now, after seeing Mahaprabhu in this form of developing those ecstatic symptoms, now they all are saying that this is so great. Hari, Hari. Now this is a good news for all of us that our Mahaprabhu, our Nimai, is developing those symptoms for love for Krishna. And therefore they say, Suniya apurva prema sebai vismita keha bale ishvara vahaila vedita. They all were amazed to hear the wonderful display of love. Shuniya apurva prema, apurva prem, that they heard from the devotees who came to narrate the entire incidents. Sabhai vismita, they all were amazed to see, to hear about all the display of wonderful love by Mahaprabhu. And some said, Keha bale, Ishvarava haila vidita, that maybe the Supreme Lord himself has manifested in the body of Nimai. But some said, Keha bale Nimai pandita bhala haile, pashandira munda chindi bhare pari hele. But some said that if Nimai has now become a good devotee, Nimai Pandit Bhala Haile, now he has become a good devotee. Because previously they were telling Nimai, you've become a good devotee. Why you are wasting your time in arguments? Don't waste your time in arguments. Don't tease everybody. Become a good devotee. Have a good behavior. Have a good conduct. Remember Krishna. Become a devotee of Krishna. That Mahaprabhu was displaying his Panditya pastimes at that time. So now they are saying that since Mahaprabhu has become a good devotee, Pashandira munda chendi vare parihale means Pashandira means those who are atheists. Their heads will be cut off. That means Mahaprabhu will defeat them in the argument. And this is the real argument when somebody gets in the argument with the atheist. So Mahaprabhu, they are saying that if you really want to get in the argument, then go have an argument with atheists and cut off their heads, because now you have become a very good devotee. So they were also very, very released, because remember at that time, the entire Navadvip was filled with atheists, or all those materialistic people who were simply enjoying their life in sense gratification. So that was the condition. So seeing this, Mahaprabhu's internal reason was also to just get rid of all these atheists, so that he can, because he himself was at that time only a Pandit, but he wants to show them that Krishna, that ultimately devotion to Krishna is everything. But how he can do it? He has to accept a formal education. He has to accept a formal initiation. So that was the internal reason that Mahaprabhu went to Gaya, when externally he wants to show that he wants to go to Gaya to offer oblations to his father. But internal reason was that he wants to meet Srila Ishwari Prabhupada. He wants to get the Gayatri mantra, Hare Krishna Maha Mantra from his spiritual master. Accept him as a spiritual master. Be his disciple, and formally start this Sankirtan movement. So Nimai also knew the condition of all the Navadvip Vasis. And here also they were saying that now our Nimai Pandit has become a good devotee, and he can easily tear off the heads of all the atheists. Keha bale hai beka Krishnera rahasya sarvatha sandeha nai janiya avashya. So some said, know for certain, hai beke Krishna rahasya. This is the confidential thing of Krishna. This is one of Krishna's mysteries. Sarvatha sandeha nai, and there is no doubt about it, that our Pandit, Nimai Pandit, has become Bhavuk Nimai. This is one of Krishna's mysteries. So this is all the discussion that is going on between all those associates of Vaishnavas in whose company Shukalamba Brahmachari, Galadhar Pandit, Shivas Pandit, Shriman Pandit, they all came and narrated the incident that happened at the house of Shukalamba Brahmachari. So, but still some said, Keha bale Ishvara Purira Sangha haite, Kiba dekhi lena Krishna Prakasha gaite. So others said, yes, it may be the mysteries of Krishna. And yes, Nimai Pandit will become a good devotee. He'll tear off the heads of all the atheists. And yes, maybe the Supreme Lord has manifested in the body of Mahaprabhu. But still they said that actually all this happened by association with Ishvara Puri. Ishvara Purira Sangha haite. He associated with Srila Ishvara Puri Pad. Kiba dekhilina Krishna Prakasha gayate. And when he went to Gaya, he must have seen some manifestation of Krishna. So this is the association of Srila Ishvara Puri Pad, in whose association Mahaprabhu has now become Bhavuk Nimai. So how important it is that we should also be in the association of the pure devotees. That's what Mahaprabhu wants to teach us through this incident, that we should always be in this association of pure devotees. And in the association only, no matter there may be some conflicts, no matter there may be some arguments, but we have to take it positively. There may be some criticism, but we have to take it very, very positively. Now, someone may say that, yes, association is needed, just like the Navavidha Bhakti starts with what? Ado Shraddha, Tatha Sadhu Sangha. That we have to have faith, and then we have Sadhu Sangha, then Bhajana Kriya started, then Anartha Nivritti. But start is Sadhu Sangha. But that doesn't mean that to come into the Krishna consciousness movement or to establish yourself in Krishna conscious movement, you need the association of sadhu. Yes, association of sadhu sangha is needed, but that doesn't mean that only at the initial stages of Krishna consciousness we need sadhu sangha. We need it even if somebody is on the stage of nishtha, ruchi, bhav or prema. That time also we need sadhu sangha. The classic example we all know that about Bharat Maharaj. He was on the stage of bhava, but because he was bereft of sadhu sangha, we know what happened. So Krishna Bhakti Janma Mula Hai Sadhu Sangha. When Krishna Bhakti Janma Mula, the root, to establish the root of Krishna Bhakti in the heart, Janma, to establish the root, we need Sadhu Sangha. But it doesn't stop there. Krishna Prema Janmeta Ho Punha Mukhyanga. But still, even if somebody is on the level of Krishna Prema, still the principal thing is Sadhu Sangha. That's the Mukhya Anga. So association should never ever be given up at any point of time in our journey of Krishna consciousness, because this association only will lead us to the right path. Otherwise, this path is not easy. This path of Krishna consciousness is not easy. So therefore, we should never ever leave the association of devotees at any point of time. Any point of time means any point of time. So here also the devotees, the Vaishnava community, they are saying that by associating with Ishvara Puri, he must have seen some manifestation of Krishna at Gaya. Because in the association of Krishna, of the spiritual master, or in the association of pure sadhus, we get to know about Krishna. Krishna reveals himself through the mouth of these pure sadhus. So we can think of that, okay, I'll read my scriptures all by myself. I can understand all by myself. And now I have passed on so many decades in Krishna consciousness, so I can well establish myself on my own. Well, no. Krishna will still reveal himself only and only through the mouth of pure devotees. So we should always be in the association of pure devotees. Now, that doesn't mean that we should always be in the association of pure devotees. Means if we do not get pure devotees, then we should not be in the association of others. No. Even if we are in the association of like-minded devotees who are also the sadhakas like us, who are also struggling in their sadhana like us, that is also okay. But the point is that we have to be in the association of Sajatiya Sangha, the like-minded devotees. And we should give up those materialistic people, because on two boats we cannot have a peaceful ride. So we have to give up one boat and we have to take up the boat of Sajatiya Sangha, the like-minded devotees. Only then we can progress in our Krishna consciousness. So by associating with Ishvara Puri, they said that he must have seen some manifestation of Krishna at Gaya. And we all know the evidence that what happened when Mahaprabhu got this 10-syllable mantra from his spiritual master. He was reciting it and he was developing that symptoms. Why? Because he was reciting it with utmost sincerity and he was calling out to Krishna. So definitely that manifestation of Krishna happened at Gaya. So they were right in their thought process. E mata anande sakala bhakta gana nana jane nana katha karena kathana. And in this way, all the devotees, Ananda, with blissful heart, they were discussing these topics. Nana jane nana katha. All various devotees came and they were discussing various topics and they were discussing among themselves. This is what is Krishna Katha. When we come in the Sangha of devotees and we discuss Krishna Katha, we don't discuss news, we don't discuss the politics, but we discuss Srimad Bhagavatam, we discuss Chaitanya Bhagavat, we discuss Chaitanya Charitamrita. When we discuss, okay, what you are reading, please share something. Okay, what you are reading these days, which canto you are in, which chapter you are in, which khanda you are in. When we talk to them in this way, that is what is Katha. That is what is Krishna Katha. When they share that what are they reading these days, which book are they reading, and what part in that book they are reading. And when they share that, this is what is the conversation, the right conversation happened. But because Krishna is involved, it becomes Krishna Katha. So this is how the devotees there are teaching us also, those who are reading Chaitanya Bhagavat, that when we come in association with devotees, we should not simply waste that wonderful, auspicious moment with the association in all those useless talks, with all those Bollywood things, with all those mundane things about the news, about the politics, about the government. No need. The only thing is discuss Krishna Katha. When we discuss Krishna Katha, heart will become blissful and transformation will happen. Sabhe meli kari te lagila ashirvada, hauka satya Krishnera prasada. Sabha meli, everybody jointly, they blessed Mahaprabhu. Though Mahaprabhu was not there in that assembly, they were just discussing among themselves. But just hearing about that real transformation that happened with Mahaprabhu, the immediate blessings came out from their mouth. And they said, Hauka Satya Krishnera Prasad. May he always be the object of Krishna's mercy. Anande lagila sabhe karite kirtana, keha gaye keha nache karaya krandana. Ananda lagila, and in this way, with Ananda, in ecstasy, they were doing kirtan. And sometimes they were dancing, keha gaya. Sometimes they were gaye, sometimes they were singing, keha nache, sometimes they were dancing. And karaya krandana, and sometimes they will cry in ecstasy, seeing Mahaprabhu. He namate bhakta gana achene harishe thakura avishta hai achene jarase. And in this way, all the devotees, bhakta gana, harishe, very blissful, they passed their time. This is the right passing of the time. What we do is really time pass, like time pass, not the passing of the time, but we do time pass. Not the pastime, but we do time pass. So we should not pass the time unnecessary with mundane thoughts or with mundane activities. Rather, we should pass time happily. Nache gaye kare sankirtan. That's how we should do it. As the Lord remained absorbed in his own mood. Thakur avishta hai achina nijaras. Mahaprabhu was in his own nijaras. He was in Radha Bhav. He was absorbed in his own mood. But others, they very happily pass their time. How? By singing, by dancing, by doing kirtan, and sometimes crying in ecstasy. So everything was perfect. This is how we should also do. And this is how our Shat Goswami also used to do. When Srinivasa Acharya used to write. What they used to do? Sankhya Purvak Naam Gana Natibi Kala Vasani Kritam. Kala Vasani. This is how they pass their time. How? Sankhya Purvak. With count they will do. Sankhya Purvak Naam Gana. They will chant their names, they will sing, and Natibihi. And they will always pay their obeisances to Vaishnavas and to deities. And this way, they will pass their time. So we sadhakas should also learn from this, that how we should pass our time, not wasting our time, but pass our time, because everybody has to pass the time, because time is inevitable. Time will just flow on its own. So what we have to do, make the best use of this time. Read our scriptures. Prabhupada has spent so much of time in writing all this for us. So to please Prabhupada, and definitely for our own benefit, we should read Prabhupada's books. We should scrutinizingly study, not read like a newspaper, but we should scrutinizingly study Srila Prabhupada books. We should chant our holy names. Whenever some time we find, we should try to sing some kirtan. We should try to sing some bhajan, some Vaishnava songs. Vaishnavas have written so many songs. And if we just focus on those songs, every song seems to be an essence of Krishna consciousness. They are so potent. They are in the form of prayers. So when we sing those songs and we get into the mood of that particular acharya, it's always so blissful. So this is how we should also. Instead of wasting our time in all those social medias, Facebook, Insta, Twitter, and whatsoever, Snapchat, etc., don't waste our time. What gain are we going to get? But if we pass the time by reading scriptures, by reading Srila Prabhupada books, by reading the prayers and bhajans by all our acharyas, then yes, that's the right way, because we will be absorbed in Krishna consciousness or Gaura consciousness or Nitai consciousness. So we should always be happily be always absorbed in Krishna. This is how Prabhupada used to say that 24/7 be Krishna conscious. This is how we become Krishna conscious 24/7. Not just holding our beads 24/7 by making a show off, but rather chanting the names of Krishna always. Not only this Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, but sometimes singing the songs of our acharyas, singing the names of Krishna. That is also singing, that is also kirtan, that is also chanting. Right? So there are different ways, and every devotee has a different mood. Some say that keep on chanting. Kaite shuite yata jata namle desh kal niyam nahi sarva siddhi hoy. Yeah, there is no desh kal niyam, there is no circumstances, there is no time, place, and circumstances for japa. We can do anytime you can call out Krishna's name, anytime you can chant. So some devotees, they just focus on chanting and they pass their time. But some, they read the scriptures. So every devotee has their different mood. But the bottom line, the boiled down point is that we have to get absorbed in Krishna consciousness somehow or other. Yena kena prakarena. Somehow or other, we have to be absorbed in the thoughts of Krishna. Always be Krishna conscious. This is what is always be in Krishna consciousness. And in this way, all the devotees also happily pass their time as the Lord remain absorbed in his womb. Katanchit Bhaya Prakashiya Vishwarambhara Chali Lena Ganga Dasa Pandite Raghara. So now our dear Mahaprabhu, he has already taken leave from devotees. And Vrindavan Das Thakur has described how the devotees, they went to the Vaishnava communities, narrated all the incidents, and all the Vaishnava communities also very happy to hear about Mahaprabhu's transforming into Bhavak Nimai, developing the symptoms of Krishna Prem. And they also got ecstatic feeling, and they passed their times in singing, dancing, doing Nam Sankirtan. But here, our Mahaprabhu, now Vrindavan Das Thakur is shifting his camera to Mahaprabhu. Previously, he was with the devotees, but now he's back to Mahaprabhu. That what happened to Mahaprabhu when he took leave. So when Mahaprabhu took leave, he returned to his external consciousness, not fully, but partial external consciousness. And then he went to the house of Gangadas Pandit. Who was Gangadas Pandit? Anybody knows who was Gangadas Pandit? Anybody wants to raise their hands? Who was Gangadas Pandit?
Yes, Mataji. Oh, somebody has raised hand.
Okay, Parima Mataji.
Gangadas Pandit was the person to his school Nimai went as a child.
Nimai went, so he was his teacher. Gangadas Pandit, thank you, Parima Mataji. So Gangadas Pandit was the teacher of Mahaprabhu. So Mahaprabhu, he went to the house of Gangadas Pandit. And what he did? Gaurara Karila Prabhu Charana Vandana Sambrame Uthiya Guru Kaila Linganam. The Lord offered his obeisances at the feet of his teacher, who immediately got up with respect and embraced the Lord. So what Mahaprabhu did? He immediately offered his obeisances. Now here we see that our Supreme Lord is the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna himself. He is the reservoir of all scriptural knowledge. He was the embodiment of all the opulence of wisdom. So what was his need to go to the school of Gangadas Pandit and got all this knowledge? What is the need? Because he wants to learn grammar. And through this, Mahaprabhu wants to teach us that if somebody wants to really be a teacher, then they should have a genuine learning and should not make any pretense of possessing some kind of knowledge. They should go to a proper school. They should accept a master. They should accept a teacher. They should have a genuine learning. Only then they can be eligible to preach. This is what Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur also writes in his Gauda Bhashya, that one has to accept a spiritual master or a teacher if somebody wants to go to a particular field. This is very important. And this is what Mahaprabhu is also teaching us. Just like Krishna also went to the ashram of Sandipani Muni. Why he went to the ashram of Sandipani Muni? Because he wants to learn, officially learn. Though he learned one art in one day, so 64 arts in 64 days, Krishna was done with it, but still he went to establish the right way of learning. And this is what Prabhupada also used to say, that there are two ways in which we can acquire that knowledge. One is Aroha Pantha and another is Avaroha Pantha. So what is the difference? Aroha Pantha is that's the ascending process, when we try to ascend. So how does that ascending process works? Ascending process means that I want to know about Lord. Suppose if I want to have some spiritual knowledge, then I say that I will understand the Lord with my own knowledge. I will read books. I will study books. I will meditate. I will think. I'll understand God on my own. This is Aroha Pantha, ascending process. But this is not the right process. The right process is descending process, which is Avaroha Pantha. And what is that? This is the descending process, when we accept some authority, when we accept a teacher. Why? Because they are Tattvadarshina. They have seen the truth. So when we go to them, serve them, ask questions, pariprashnena sevaya, then what happens? We get the right knowledge. So we should approach to a teacher, we should approach to a spiritual master, and then take the knowledge from them. So this is the descending process. Just like the water flows from a higher level to a lower level. Similarly, the knowledge also flows from higher authority to the lower authority. And when somebody gets this knowledge from that higher authority, that is what is parampara system. Evam parampara praptam. This knowledge has to be gained in a parampara system, not on one's own accord. That is not the right understanding. So this Avaroha Pantha is actually the Krishna conscious Pantha. Our Krishna consciousness movement is Avaroha Pantha. Evam para param praptam idam Rajarisho vidu. That is the real process. How the Rajarishis, they got the knowledge and then they gave the knowledge to others. We also got this knowledge. So therefore, when we try to say something, we say it on behalf of our spiritual master, what we learn from our spiritual master. And he will say what he learned from his spiritual master, from Srila Prabhupada. And Srila Prabhupada will say what he learned from Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. This is what the parampara systems. It's just the lens in the telescope. They become a transparent via media. My Guru Maharaj, His Holiness Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj, would always give this example, which is so apt in understanding. He'll say that if you want to see something in a sky, which is just a far distant object, maybe a star if you want to see. So you cannot see. Even if you have a telescope, you'll not be able to see. But the moment you keep on putting the lenses, the clear lenses, not the dirty lenses, the clear lenses, the object becomes more visible. So what are these clear lenses? These are our predecessors acharyas. Because through them, when we have the bona fide spiritual master, so with the help of them, we are able to see that far distant object that is Krishna. Krishna becomes very close to our heart. Why? Because we have given our ears to those predecessors acharya. We have heard from them. And when we hear from them, they become transparent via media. This is what is transparent via media. When these spiritual masters are transparent via media, through which we can see the far distant object very closely. So this is the Avaroha Pantha. And this is what Mahaprabhu also established by going to the school of Gangadas Pandit. And as soon as he reached, he offered his obeisances. Now our Supreme Lord is my Supreme Lord. What's the need of him to pay obeisances to Gangadas Pandit? This shows his genuinity, that Mahaprabhu was such a genuine student that he was not making any kind of pretense, but he was genuinely seeking association of Gangadas Pandit. So therefore, as soon as he saw, he offered his obeisances. On the other hand, even Gangadas Pandit was also very, very humble at heart. As soon as he saw his disciple, he just got up from his seat and he also wanted to give all his blessings to him. So Nimai, when he paid his obeisances to Gangadas Pandit, though he himself was the Lord of the Vedas, is just to teach that how a disciple should be. And Gangadas Pandit, getting up from his seat and embracing the Lord, show how the Guru should be. A Guru should also be very, very loving to his disciple. Guru bole dhanya bapa tomara jivana, pitrakula matrakula karila mochana. His Guru said, Gangadas Pandit, he said, glorious is your life. Dhanya bapa, tumhari life glorious hai. Your life is very, very glorious. Why? Pitrakula matrakula karila mochana, because you have delivered both your father's and the mother's families, Pitrakula and Matrakula. So this is also the benediction given by Lord Nrsingadev, whose appearance day is coming just in 3 more days. Thursday is the most auspicious appearance of Lord Nrsingadev. He gave this benediction to Prahlad Maharaj, that because you have born in the kul of these demons, but still because you have become a pure devotee, your 21 generations will be will be liberated. So this is what now 21 generations. Generations also means from Matrakula and Pitrakula, from both the sides. So therefore, if anybody who is born as a pure devotee in a family, the entire family, the generations of those families will be liberated. They are liberated means that they will get a chance of a human life, that they will born in a house of a devotee, and they will get a chance so that they can progress in their life further. So this is what the liberation means. Liberation doesn't mean that without any effort they will go home back to Godhead. No, their liberation means that they will get a chance to take birth in a devotee family where they can progress. Means the environment altogether will be so conducive to them that they will be able to progress bhakti, and they will able to process bhakti, and they will be able to progress in their life further. So he says, glorious is your life, my dear. You have delivered both your father and mother family. In this regard, I also remembered one pastime by Guru Maharaj only. When Guru Maharaj wants to join Krishna conscious movement, his father was little reluctant. He said, what will happen to us? Why you want to join? Though Maharaj has his brother also, but still Maharaj's father doesn't want him to join Krishna conscious movement as a full-time devotee. At that time, Maharaj said, don't worry, my brother will take off your material needs and I will take care of your spiritual needs. Let me join. I will help you. Me joining this Krishna consciousness movement full-time will help you indirectly once you leave this body. So Maharaj mentioned this to his father. So glorious is your life, my dear. That's what Gangadas Pandit is saying, because you have delivered both your Matrakula and your Pitrakula. तुम्हारा पढ़ो या सभा तुम्हारा अवधि पंथी के हा नहीं मिले ब्रह्मा भले यदि. He says तुम्हारा पढ़ो या सभा means जो तुम्हारे students हैं, your teachers, they only know you, your students, those students whom you were teaching, they only know you as your teacher. They would punthi keha nahi mele Brahma bale yadi. They will not even open books even if Brahma comes and order them. That means they have so much regard for you, O Nimai. They have so much regard for you. So therefore, go on preaching, go on teaching your students. You should carry on this work. Your students know you only as their teacher. They would not open their books even for Lord Brahma. एखाने आईला तुम्ही सबर प्रकाशा कली कहते पढ़ाईब अजी जहावासा. Now that you have returned, एखाने आईला तुम्ही सबर प्रकाश, you should go and give this prakash, illuminate this entire world from your teaching. Kali haite. So now he says, पाड़ी पे आजी जहावास. आज घर जाओ, you may go home today. Tomorrow you can start your teaching profession again. So now that you have returned from Gaya, you should begin teaching from tomorrow. Today you can go home. The word Sabara Prakasha, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur in his purport writes, indicates the Lord who manifests the beauty and bliss in everyone's heart, who revives the illuminating mood of awe and reverence, and who unfolds the real truth. Sabara Prakasha, because through his teaching, Mahaprabhu is illuminating everybody. And what he is destroying? He is destroying the ignorance in the heart of all those people. So ignorance, when it is destroyed, naturally one becomes illuminated. Right? Therefore, it is said that Krishna consciousness is always there, but it is dormant state in everybody's heart. It has to be awakened. It has to be awakened. And that awakening process happens in the association of a devotee. When we come in the contact of a pure sadhu, that sadhu helps us, that awaken us, and helps us in awakening that dormant Krishna, love for Krishna consciousness that is there in our heart. That is always there, but it is in a very dormant stage. So it has to be awakened. And therefore he is saying, Mahaprabhu, you start teaching from tomorrow, because when you teach, then you illuminate everybody's heart by destroying the ignorance in their heart. Guru Namaskarya cha Leela Vishwarambhra Chaturdike Paduyai Vestita Shashadhara. And after offering obeisances to his Guru, Vishwarambhara left that place. Surrounded by his students, he appeared like the moon amidst the stars. And then Mahaprabhu went to the house of Mukunda Sanjaya. Ailena Shri Mukunda Sanjaya Ghare Aisha Vasila Chandi Mandapa Bhaitare. The Lord then arrived at the house of Mukunda Sanjaya, where he sat down within the Chandi Mandap. So what is Chandi Mandap? We have known from Chaitanya Charitamrita that outside the house there is a courtyard which is known as the deity room. So inside is what the family members stay. So anyone who comes and meets the head of the family, they don't interact with the wives and the children because they stay inside. But outside the house, there is always a courtyard where the deity is established, or a deity room, you can say. So that is known as the Chandi Mandapa, because in Bengal, the worship of Chandi Devi is very, very prominent. So therefore, they will install the deity of Chandi, and that place will be known as Chandi Mandapa. So the Lord also arrived at the house of Mukunda Sanjaya, where he sat down within the Chandi Mandapa. Now, who was this Mukunda Sanjaya? So Mukunda Sanjaya is that when the Supreme Lord, he studied from Gangadas Pandit, at that time he opened a primary school in the house of Mukunda Sanjaya. So Mukunda Sanjaya was also the student, not exactly the student, but he was in favor of Mahaprabhu. So with his permission only, Mahaprabhu opened a primary school at the house of Mukunda Sanjaya. And it says that Mukunda Sanjaya's son, whose name is Purushottam Sanjaya, was actually the student of Mahaprabhu. Goshti Sange Mukunda Sanjaya Punyavanta Yahaile Anandata Hara Nahi Anta. Accompanied by his relatives, the most pious Mukunda Sanjaya experienced unlimited happiness as he interacted with the Supreme Lord. Purushottama Sanjayra Prabhu Koila Kale Sanchilena Angatana Nayana Rajale. The Lord embraced Purushottam Sanjaya, who was the son of Mukunda Sanjaya, and he drenched his body with tears. So Mahaprabhu, when he embraced Purushottam Sanjaya, son of Mukunda Sanjaya, he drenched his body with tears. Jayakara dite lagi lena nari gana parama ananda haila mukunda bhavana. And all the ladies, they made auspicious that uru sound, and the house of Mukunda became the abode of spiritual happiness. Parama ananda haila mukunda bhavana. That entire house of Mukunda, it became an abode of spiritual happiness, because Mahaprabhu was in ecstatic feeling, and he, as soon as embraced Purushottam Sanjaya, he was crying in tears. And not only him, he drenched the entire body of Purushottam Sanjaya also with tears. So everybody was very, very happy, very, very blissful. Shubha Drishti Pata Prabhu Kari Sabha Kare Ailena Mahaprabhu Apana Mandire. And after glancing mercifully on every Drishti path, after glancing everybody mercifully, then Mahaprabhu returned to his own mandir, means returned to his own house. And there what he did? Aisha Vasila Vishnu Grihera Duyare Priti Kari Vadaya Dilena Sabakare. He came and sat at the doorstep of his Vishnu temple, where he affectionately bid farewell to his students. Ye jana Aishe Prabhura Sambhashite Prabhura Charitra ke hana parabhujite. Je jana Aishe Prabhu, whosoever came and greet the Lord, they were all perplexed, they were all bewildered, they were not able to understand. Prabhura Charita keha na para bhajate. Uska par nahi samajh pa rahe the. They were not understanding the limit, the characteristics of Mahaprabhu, because there was 180-degree change in the mood of Mahaprabhu. Previously, he was always arrogant in his Panditya form, but now he has become meek and humble due to his devotion for Krishna. See, now in the next verse only it's been mentioned. Purva vidya audatya na dekha ko na jana parama virakta praya thaka sarvashana. Because previously Mahaprabhu was in his vidya auditya, means he was in the arrogance of his panditya. But now he is parama virakta. He has become renounced. He has developed that mood of renunciation. And how does one develop this mood of renunciation? When comes in contact with the devotional service of the Supreme Lord. And this vairagya happens automatically. So this is the one of the characteristics of devotional service, that one must come in the contact of pure devotee and perform some devotional activities when vairagya happens. And that's what Mahaprabhu is also depicting. Parama virakta praya thake sarvashana. He was always in the mood of a renounced order. Now, putra re charita shachi kichui na bhuje, putre ra mangala lagi Ganga Vishnu puje. But Mother Shachi internally was not happy. She was not able to understand anything about her son's behavior, because for her it's not normal. Her son was not behaving normally. So what she did, she simply worshipped river Ganga and Vishnu for the welfare of her son. Swami Neela Krishna Chandra Neela Putra Gana Avashishta Sabe Matra Ache Ekajana. She prayed, "Oh Krishna Chandra, you took away my husband because Jagannath Mishra has left. You took away my son because the Vishwarup, the elder son of Vishwambara, also left, took sannyas. So now she said, "Oh Krishna Chandra, I'm left with only one son now. So please take care of him." Because she was able to understand that the behavior of Mahaprabhu, who was always behaving in a renounced order, is actually not the correct mood. Some fear she had in her heart that what if Nimai also takes sannyas? What will happen to her? Because she was thinking that her husband has already left, her elder son has already left. So now she doesn't want to lose Nimai. So day and night she was praying, "Oh Krishna Chandra, please, I have only one son left. So please take care of him." To her, the activities of Nimai was not pleasing because she was thinking that Mahaprabhu is going in a renounced order of life, which she doesn't want. So what she did, Anathina Mora Krishna Ede Havara Shushta Chete Griha Mora Raho Vishwarambara. So day and night she was praying, "Oh Krishna, I am a widow. I have already lost my husband. Please give me this benediction that Vishwambara may peaceful remain at home." Shushta Chitte. Shushta Chitte means swastha chitta ke saath, not with Krishna, calling out to Krishna day and night, not with that consciousness, but swastha, like an ordinary man, like an ordinary boy. He should have his consciousness and should stay in home. And in pretext of this, what she did, she called Vishnu Priya. She called the dearmost wife of Mahaprabhu. Lakshmi re anina putra samipe vasaya drishti pata karya o Prabhu nahi chaya. She purposely brought Vishnu Priya and made her sit in front of her son so that her son may be allured by seeing the beauty of Vishnu Priya and forget all those ecstatic symptoms that he was developing. Although the Lord, but what drishti pata karya, because she wants the Lord to look at Vishnu Priya. And Lord looked at Vishnu Priya. Yes, Lord looked at. He gazed in that direction, but he was not looking Vishnu Priya. He was actually not seeing her. So that was the condition of Mahaprabhu, because now he is already in Virakta Bhav. He is in Radha Bhav. So he will not see. Though he was externally seeing Vishnu Priya, but he was not seeing Vishnu Priya in that sense. So Prabhupada Saraswati Thakur write a brilliant purport how we should be and how we should not be. The word Lakshmi here refers to Vishnu Priya. Yes, she says Lakshmira Aina Putre Samipa. Vrindavan Das Thakur mentions the word Lakshmi, but here Lakshmi doesn't mean Lakshmi Priya. Lakshmi means Vishnu Priya. So So in the previous chapter also, we saw that when Mahaprabhu came, at that time also Vrindavan Das Thakur came back from Gaya. That time also Vrindavan Das Thakur mentions that how the parents of Lakshmi Priya were very happy. At that time, Lakshmi also means the Vishnu Priya only. So Sachi, she acted like an ordinary worldly mother. She wants her child to be with her. So who is fond of increasing her family's attachment, seeing grandchildren. So she says, if I create opportunities for my son to engage in intimate conversations with my daughter-in-law, Sri Vishnupriya Devi, then perhaps my son's strong tendency and attachment for worshipping Krishna, which is just contrary to material attachment or material enjoyment, will diminish. So she doesn't want Nimai to call out to Krishna day and night. She said, no, you have to get attached. You have a wife. Increase your family. Be attached to your family. According to ordinary worldly consideration, conditioned souls in their youth, they try to enjoy their wives, thinking them as the objects of enjoyment. And thus they become attached to material existence. And they are known as Grahamedi. Their ashram doesn't known as Grahastha ashram, but it is Grahamedi, family life, because they want to enjoy each other. They are doing it everything for sense gratification. So this is the don't that we get to learn, that we don't have to be Grahamedis. Rather, we have to be in a Grahastha ashram. But such a consideration never arose in the heart of the Lord. Although while maintaining indifference and being afflicted by separation from Krishna, he gave Vishnupriya a token glance. He glanced at Vishnupriya, but he did not become enthusiastic to see the personification of servitude Vishnupriya as an object of enjoyment. He doesn't want to enjoy Vishnupriya. He was not seeing Vishnupriya as his object of enjoyment. He was seeing Vishnupriya as a devotee of the Supreme Lord, because he was in the Virakta Bhav. So this is how we all should be. Yes, we are in Grahastha ashram. We have certain responsibilities. We have certain liabilities. Perform them in the mood of renunciation. Perform them not thinking that I am the doer. That kind of mentality one should not have, even when one is in the Grahastha ashram. Not think that I am the doer. The head of the family, the husband or the male member, should not think, I am the one who is earning. If I don't earn, the whole family will starve. No, Krishna has made you an instrument in earning. Similarly, the female, the mother of the house, the lady should not think that if I don't take care of the house, this house will be topsy-turvy. No doubt it will be. She thinks if I don't take care of children, these children will be the stray children at the streets. Yes, it is true, but should not think that I am the doer. Rather, carry out all these responsibilities. We have to carry out all these responsibilities, but not in the mood of being a doer, rather in the mood of a servitorship. That Krishna has given me this responsibility, so let me carry out diligently in the guidance of Guru, Sadhu and Shastra. That's how the family should run. And that is what is Grahastha life. Otherwise, it is andhakupam. It's a blind well, which has no bottom, bottomless well. You keep going down, 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 and you will not find any hope of coming out. This is what is material entanglement is. That is what is Grahamedi life is. So our dear mother Sachi doesn't want to lose her child. So she also, what she did, she purposely brought Vishnupriya right in front of the Lord, so that the Lord can see Vishnupriya and be allured by her beauty. But the Lord was in Virakta Bhav. He saw Vishnupriya, but not in the mood of enjoying her, but in the mood that she is a devotee of Lord Shri Krishna. So thank you all so much. We'll stop here. It's already 12:10. There were many verses to cover. So we'll stop here. Thank you all so much for your association. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Vrindavan Das Thakur ki jai, Shri Caitanya Bhagavat ki jai. The verses were very simple, but still, if somebody has any questions, comments, they can go now. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Kirtida Sundari Mataji. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Such a beautiful class in spite of you not keeping well, which was evident in your voice. We pray that you feel better soon. And thank you so much for immersing us in this nectar of Caitanya Bhagavat. Caitanya Bhagavat is always relishable when you speak with me.
Caitanya Bhagavat is always relishable because it is written by Vrindavan Das Thakur, he has written it so poetically, so beautifully. So yes, thank you, Mataji. Thank you for always engaging me in this service.
Thank you, Mataji, for everything. Thank you.
Yes, Parima Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you so much for your wonderful service in spite of, being not too well, Mataji. I'll pray for you that you get better soon.
Thank you.
Mataji, I just had one clarification. You said that our process is not Aroha, but Avroha process. Yes, that I understand, Mataji. But you cannot approach a spiritual master if you do not have that inner query that, I have to get out of this material existence. I have to get home back to Godhead or whatever. In the initial stages, when we are not Krishna conscious, we do have that kind of a desire to go someplace or to seek shelter at some place. So is it not that there at some point of time we do have that Avroha process also?
Yeah, we have that Avaroha process only, like you said, that when we get this intention.
Aroha process, sorry, not Avroha.
So when you say this, that I have that inclination that I want to go home back to Godhead. So what do? Do you start studying scriptures on your own? You yourself said that you develop a keen desire to seek some spiritualist.
But Mataji, till we don't find someone, we do seek at least answers like on the internet or some book where some questions can be answered. We do make those little attempts till we find someone. Don't you think that?
So whatever we are finding, even if we are finding in the books, still it is the Avaroha process, because we are consulting Srila Prabhupada books. And through Prabhupada books, this knowledge is already descended. But now, if you think that I want to go home back to Godhead, and what is the purpose of my human life? This material world is entanglement. We know all this. But if I keep on going on reading on Vedas on my own, okay, what is written in Rig Veda, what is written in Yajurveda, I speculate myself, I go on doing it all by my own self. That is a Aroha process. But consulting Srila Prabhupada books, consulting seniors, talking to the devotees, that is not Aroha process. That is Avaroha process, because knowledge has already descended through Srila Prabhupada books, through the mouth of devotees. So when we approach them, yes, little bit of endeavor is required. That effort from our side is very important. That is there. But knowledge, if we think that I will get it on my own, who is Guru? I don't need any medium. People say this. Why do we need a Guru? When I am there, Krishna is there, I can know Krishna. Why I need a medium for somebody? Like, connect me to Krishna. Why do I need it? Well, that's not the right process. The right process is that you have to have a spiritual master, and that too in a disciplic succession, because then you will get the mercy of the entire predecessor acharyas and you will be able to progress in your life. So we follow this Avaroha process, not the Aroha process.
Okay, Mataji. Okay, I got your point, Mataji.
At any point of time, you see, because when we go, even if when we go to internet, do we simply go to on those bogus websites? No. We go to somewhere where Prabhupada has said something, or where Krishna's devotees have mentioned something. So we stick to those points. But isn't it that is descending process? Because how Prabhupada got? What Prabhupada is writing from his spiritual master. Even if we are going to some devotee's blog, that devotee also got that knowledge from his spiritual master. So it is already descended. Knowledge is descended. Now it's up to us whether we are taking it from internet, whether we are studying Srila Prabhupada books, or whether we are talking to the devotees. But the knowledge is already descended. We are not doing any effort from our own side. only just to search what in the association of devotees. That's how it is.
Yes, Mataji. Got it, Mataji. Thank you for this clarification. Now now I exactly know what you mean. Okay, Mataji. Thank you so much. Danvat Pranam, Mataji. Hare Krishna. All glory to Srila Prabhupada.
Glory to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Kirtida Sundari Mataji. Thank you so much for coming and giving us a class. I seemed like you were not well, but still you really gave us the nectar. Very beautiful session, Mataji. And so nicely you explained all of the different verses. I did not know who Ganga, I did not remember who Gangadas Pandit was. But Mukunda Sanjay, you were talking about Mukunda Sanjay's brother. Who was that, Mataji? I missed that part.
Yeah, thank you, Mataji, for bringing up that point. Actually, I also missed clarifying that because I was seeing time. It was already 12:16, but I'm happy you asked this question. So, yes, so Mukunda Sanjaya was actually definitely a devotee of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But after studying in the Association of Gangadas Pandit, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu opened a primary school at the house of Mukunda Sanjaya, and his son, Purushottam Sanjaya, was the student of Mahaprabhu. Now, Chaitanya Bhagavat says this, whereas in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Prabhupada, he quotes when Chaitanya Charitamrita, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, in the initial verses of Adi Leela, Chaitanya Charitamrita, he mentions the different branches. Do you remember? He refers to the different branches because he says that Mahaprabhu is the trunk of the tree and that tree has various branches and each branch has its own set of devotees. So there, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami mentions that the 33rd branch and the 34th branch is actually Purushottam and Sanjaya. So there, Prabhupada clarifies that though Chaitanya Bhagavat, he says that according to Chaitanya Bhagavat, Purushottam Sanjaya was the son of Mukunda Sanjaya, but the author of Chaitanya Charitamrita, that is Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, clarifies that Purushottam and Sanjaya were two other people. They were not one. They were two different people, Sanjaya and Mukund and Purushottama. So there, and Mukunda Sanjaya, when we combine them together, there also Prabhupada in Chaitanya Charitamrita purport mentions that actually there are two different identities. I can show you that purport. Actually, in purport only, Prabhupada mentions that according to Chaitanya Bhagavat, this is, I can show you. Let me screen share. So it's more easy. Even, okay, what I do, I have to first open, I think so, right? Because I have not opened.
Yes, Mataji.
Okay. Yeah, let me go to my Chrome. It says Vedabase, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Leela, chapter number 10. And it's verse number 70. Now I can share, hopefully. Yes. So now you can see. Prabhura Padura Dui Purushottama Sanjaya Vyakarena Dui Shishya Dui Mahashaya. So as per Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, this Purushottama and Sanjaya, they were two different disciples of Mahaprabhu who was reading Vyakarana. Dui Shishya, they were two children, right? So the third, and they both became Mahashya, they both became great personalities. So the 33rd and 34th branches were the two students of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu named Purushottam and Sanjaya, who were stalwart students in grammar. They were These two students were inhabitants of Navadvip and were the Lord's first companions in the Sankirtan movement. According to Chaitanya Bhagavat, Purushottam Sanjaya was the son of Mukunda Sanjaya, but the author of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita has clarified that Purushottam and Sanjaya were two people, not one.
So thank you.
There is a discrepancy here, but Chaitanya Bhagavat says that Mukunda Sanjaya was the person in whose home Mahaprabhu opened this primary school, and Mukunda Sanjaya's son was Purushottam Sanjaya, whom Mahaprabhu embraced. But Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is not aligned with it. But instead, whatever it is, the point is that they were great personalities and Mahaprabhu taught them fully. So when we also sing in Gaura Arati, what is this verse? Nara Hari Adi Kori Chavar Dulaya Sanjaya Mukunda Bashu Ghoshadi Gaya. There also it is mentioned Sanjaya, Mukunda, and Bashu Ghosh. So there are three different personalities who were singing the glories of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So this is how it is. Hope it helps.
Yes, oh yes, Mataji. Yes. Thank you so much for showing us through the eyes of Chaitanya Charitamrita. I was thinking, okay, maybe they both might be two sons because it's the same last name, two sons of Mukunda Sanjaya. But thank you so much, Mataji. Very beautiful class. Hare Krishna, and hope you feel better.
Yes, Mataji. Thank you so much. Yes, Tanya, Mataji. Tanya.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Mataji, where was Nityananda Prabhu during this time? There is no mention about him.
I saw this message in chat box. I also heard the same question you asked His Grace Amarendra Prabhu. And Amarendra Prabhu told you, go and read Chaitanya Bhagavat. But I'll not put you in that position. So actually, Nityananda Prabhu has already left. Remember, Lakshmi Tirtha Prabhu came and he took Nityananda Prabhu from Hadai Pandit and Padmavati. So Nityananda Prabhu was traveling at that time with Lakshmi Pati Tirtha. And that time, when Mahaprabhu went to Gaya, and Mahaprabhu came back, and then he became Bhavuk Nimai, that news went to Vrindavan, where Nityananda Prabhu was there. So Nityananda Prabhu was waiting after traveling throughout India with Lakshmipati Tirtha. After that, Nityananda Prabhu was waiting in Vrindavan. He was in his Balaram mood at that time, and he was waiting that this news should come that Mahaprabhu has started this Sankirtan movement. And as soon as this news came, then now this news will spread and Nityananda Prabhu will make arrangements, will come to Navadvip at the house of Nandanacharya. But this will happen later. But to answer your question, where is Nityananda Prabhu? Right now, Nityananda Prabhu, either he was traveling or he was in Vrindavan. Hope it helps.
Yes, Mataji. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yes, Parima Mataji, you have another question?
Yes, Mataji. I didn't get one point. You said they are the 32nd and 33rd generation. I didn't get that point. What
Generations, not generations. I'm sorry, not generations. These are the different branches. If you read Adi Leela, starting verses, not verses as such, starting chapters, right from maybe after the 9th chapter, maybe 11th, 12th chapter, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami describes the different branches through which this entire Krishna conscious movement spreaded. Because there Mahaprabhu says, right, I have just two hands and I cannot distribute these fruit of love of Godhead with these two hands. So I need support. So there Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami mentions that Mahaprabhu is compared to the tree of that devotional trunk of that devotional tree. Mahaprabhu is taken as, and he has a lot of branches. So one branch is Advaitacharya, Nityananda Ram, and Srivas Thakur. So we have different branches. So the 32nd and the 33rd branch of that tree is actually Mukunda and Sanjaya.
Okay, Mataji. Okay, now I got it. Thank you so much, Mataji. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Mataji, go ahead.
Thank you, Mataji, for enlightening. Mataji, kindly tell me about this Mogini Ekadasi, Mataji, today. Today is Mogini Ekadasi, no, Mataji.
Yeah, today is Ekadashi, right? So what is the significance you want to say?
Yes.
Mataji, exactly, I don't know.
I want to know about
Your voice is echoing, but
okay,
I was able to understand your question. Yeah, so your question is regarding the significance of this Ekadashi. So I don't know exactly because every Ekadashi has a different pastime related to it. And this falls under the category of karma khanda activity that you perform this Ekadashi, you will get this benefit. And that's what Yudhishthir Maharaj was being told. I don't know exactly. You can go to the internet, you can go to ISKCON Desire Tree, and you can search and you will get the entire pastime of this Ekadashi related to today's Ekadashi. But as for the devotees, every Ekadashi is equally potent because Ekadashi is also known as Madhava Tithi, which brings us close to Lord Madhava, which brings close to Lord Shri Krishna. So our objective of Ekadashi is to fast for the pleasure of Lord Shri Krishna so that we can chant more, we can read more, and we can absorb our consciousness more in Krishna consciousness. Hope that helps.
Thank you, Mataji. Dandatna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Shri Guru and Gauranga Mataji. It's very, very nice, beautiful session. And I also want to thank Indulekha Karuna Mataji because whatever I got a question in my head that we just sing in the Aarti Sanjaya Mukunda. And here I saw read the names Mukund Sanjaya like that. So I was confused that there are two or only one. But thank you, Indulekha Karuna Mataji. And thank you too, that you just clarify the question of Mataji. And I understood that thing too, because I was also confused at that time. Why it is different, Mukunda Sanjaya like that. And in the Aarti, it says Sanjaya Mukunda Vasubhusha Digaya. So thank you so much, Mataji. And always, as usual, your class is very nice. And it is also, you say the devotee of association of devotees is very important. See, by which, whatever I confuse, I got a answer from this. So in the association, I get all the things. So it's very wonderful, Mataji. So it's very necessary, the association of devotees, and you can get all your answers, whatever in your mind and head.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you. Thank you for your association.
And hope you are also good.
Yes, Mataji. My Krishna, by all your prayers, I'm doing fine. Thank you.
Yes, Mataji. And Mataji, I want to say something.
Yeah,
before I was used to chanting without taking shower. In the beginning, I was taking shower. After that, my husband said, no, you don't wake up early. I started the late when he woke up. So then, and now my health is not good. So he just helped me to take the shower, me. So after, I always take shower first, and then I do Aarti and everything, Mangala Aarti. And then as soon as I finish that, here our class is finished, the jap. So I cannot come, but I do mine. And I just got the other devotees, like, so I just started chanting in that group until 9 o'clock, 8:30. And then 8:30, I just offer my food or milk to Lord, and then I come in here. So is it okay, Mataji? So I cannot attend. And then I just hear the classes, whatever Bhagavatam class we had.
Yes, Mataji, it's perfectly okay. It's perfectly okay. So as per your time, place, and circumstances allows you, You should do it. Because devotional service is susukham kartum avayam. It has to be performed happily, not under any pressure that I have to wake up 2 o'clock in the morning or 3 o'clock in the morning. Then I have to wake up and take shower and then sit at one place and chant. It's good. It's ideal. But if that is bringing some kind of discomfort to us because of some bodily condition, then we should let go it. We should do devotional service as per it allows us. It has to be performed happily. So, and secondly, don't waste your time. So you are not wasting your time. You are waking up at a certain time. You are taking shower. You are doing arati. You are chanting. You are listening to Bhagavad Katha. Again, you are chanting. You are offering food to the deities. And again, you are hearing Chaitanya Bhagavad. So this is what is Krishna conscious. Your whole life is spent in the thoughts of Krishna. The whole day is spent. So as per your body allows, listen to your body and work accordingly. You know your body. Nobody else knows. You know how much you can stress yourself. So stress is accordingly. Stretch your body accordingly. But what the Acharya says that chanting in Brahma Muhurta is when we become complacent, when we start thinking that even if my body allows, I will not chant in Brahma Muhurta because I want to sleep more. That is wrong. But if your body needs rest, listen to your body first and then work accordingly. So remember, devotional service is always susukham kartum avayam. It has to be eternal, it has to be performed consistently, and it has to be performed with happiness. So as you feel happy, as you feel comfortable, as you feel your body is comfortable, do it accordingly. Is it okay, Mataji? Thank you so much, Mataji. Thank you. See, at your age, you are doing so much. I don't know whether when I'll come to your age, whether I'll be able to do something or not. So whatever we are doing, be grateful to Krishna that at least Krishna is allowing you to be Krishna conscious always. So be grateful and perform all kinds of services very happily. Whatever time is suitable to you, do it. But do it with blissful. Be blissful and do it in a pleasing manner. Thank you so much, Mataji. Thank you. You're so kind. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Krishna Mataji, thank you for this wonderful, wonderful class and such comforting and practical answers to the questions, Mataji. Really, really blessed to have your association. And yes, Mataji, your talk about the crying school really touched me. Someday, Mataji, someday, please bless all of us here. Someday we will all become students of that crying school. I'm definitely not there.
No, Vidhi Mataji, even I'm not there. So that's the hope of this association. So let's all of us pray for each other. We all get enrolled in that crying school of Mahaprabhu. All of us get that eligibility criteria of getting enrolled in the school so that we can cry. As Gaur Govind Maharaj used to say, if you cannot cry, then cry that you cannot cry for Krishna.
So it's also not possible at this stage. My crying is all so material. But yes.
We can cry at the loss of our relatives, our near and dear ones. We can cry for losing all our possessions. We don't cry for Krishna.
True, Mataji. Very true.
I just remember one thing. There was something that happened. There was a conversation going on, and I was with Mother Urmila, and something happened that tears started flowing from my eyes. And she said, I wish these tears be from the separation of Krishna. And it touched so much to my heart that yes, this crying should be only from the separation of Krishna, not for any material things.
So nice. So nice. Yes, Mataji. Someday.
Someday.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mataji. There are no more realizations or questions. With your permission, can we end the call, Mataji?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Very nice class. Very nice answers also. And I have, Guru Maharaj saying, we have opened the crying school. So we should cry for Krishna. Yes, I also want to join in that crying school, but I don't know when it will happen. But still, try to chant nicely. But it's not so possible like that, right? But just keep endeavoring, chanting at least, and hope you feel better.
Yes, Mataji, I'm feeling much better. So let us all offer our prayers to each one of us, those 20 devotees who are on the call, that we all may get enrolled in this crying school. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, 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 Hare.
Thank you, Mataji, for beautiful class.
Thank you, Mataji. Chinmay Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Koti koti dhanvat pranam. Hare Krishna.
पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः।
Hare Krishna.
जय जय जय। Thank you very much.
So much, Mataji.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Pranam Mataji.
Mataji.
Thank you so
Mataji
much.
ki jai. Thank you so much,
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna,
Hare Krishna.
Mataji.
Srimati Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna.
Please bless me.
Me too.
Yes, all of you, please bless me. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Thank you
Hare
everyone for
Krishna.
joining
Thank you,
class.
Mataji. Hare
Closing the
Krishna.
call for today.